Hi, this is Grace.
And this is Janice.
And we're here to talk to you about our mission trip experience.
Gracie, tell us when and where.
It's going to be in Montego Bay, Jamaica from May 30th to June 6th. That's a Saturday to a Saturday. It's a full week.
And it's going to be at Mustard Seed Communities, and the home is called Blessed Assurance. So Mustard Seed Communities is an organization that's over 40 years old that was started by Monsignor Gregory. 40 years ago, he saw some children with severe disabilities on the streets of Kingston, Jamaica, picked them up and gave them a home. And 40 years later, there's now almost 400 children and adults in Jamaica and also Nicaragua, Dominican Republic, Zimbabwe, and Malawi. But we're going to Jamaica to a home called Blessed Assurance. And Gracie, tell us why. And Gracie, tell us why you should go, or someone should go on a mission trip.
I think you should go on the mission trip. Obviously we're just going to cut out some of that. That doesn't sound good.
Okay, Gracie, why should someone go on a mission trip?
I think you should go on a mission trip for several reasons. One, it helps you become more aware of the blessings in your life. It helps you be more grateful for the things you have. And also, there's a quote, like, the root of joy is gratefulness. So it also brings a lot of joy to your life. One, being on the trip and seeing the joy of all the kids there, even with what little they have, and experiencing like a new family, kind of, with all the people who you go with and the kids there at Mustard Seed and all the caretakers there. You become another family. And then, secondly, when you get back home, you're so much more aware of all the blessings that God's given you, and it gives you a new sense of joy and gratefulness.
Great. So what kind of mission trip is this going to be? Like a high school or adults or what's...
We never really know. It's kind of up to God.
That's right.
We just say, like, whoever feels called to join us is more than welcome. We're just gonna see.
Yeah,
I don't really know.
We've taken over 20 of our family members over the last 20 years. So usually it's got a couple of family members. We're gonna have a lot of high schoolers come with us. Sometimes their parents are gonna go. A lot of young adults always come with us. Hopefully we'll get a priest to come with us because then we can actually have mass every day. But we never know. So it's always up to God. We know that we're going, and we know that there's a lot of interest, and we have room for about 25 people. So what are some expectations for the trip, both for you and for them?
Well, you guys can expect an awesome week, getting to know a whole new group of people, becoming like their family, like I said, experiencing more joy and gratefulness in your life, at least I have, pushing yourself, growing in virtue. It's just a really wonderful week, and you also grow closer to Christ. That's undoubtedly going to happen.
And what do we expect from them?
From you guys, we expect you guys to be ready and able to join us and embrace all aspects of our trip, like physically, mentally, spiritually. Just be open and willing, because a lot of times on mission trips, things don't go our way, and you never know what.
Might have a heat wave.
You might have a heat wave. Challenges are going to be thrown at us, and you have to be able to just kind of go with the flow and adapt with whatever is thrown at us.
And be willing and have a great attitude. We always kind of have a requirement. You have to be really fun to be on our trips, because
you have to be
we don't want any party poopers. No fun. What are some of the basics, Grace?
Some of the basics. Those are the necessities that you need to go on the trip. So one is a passport that doesn't expire within 6 months of the trip. Immunizations that are up to date for Hep A and B and tetanus. There's a missionary form, so we can get your information just to keep up to date with you while we're going through this whole process. And I'm going to skip that for a second, 25 prayer partners. So you just ask 25 people, hey, will you pray for me? And you get their email so we can remind them right before the trip. And we want to make sure that you have the spiritual support too. And then we have before the trip jobs. So before the trip even begins, we like to start by giving everybody like a task. And sometimes you're on a team, sometimes it's by yourself. But there's just little little jobs to do to kind of get the trip started. And those are normally just fun little things. If you want a big job, let me know. I'd be happy to hand that off.
And generally, because so many of our people come from all over, we leave out of the Atlanta airport, but like one time, half the group was from California. So we do a lot of the jobs, online or on
conference calls
or something. So you can, even if you're not with us, we can find something for you to help us with before.
Now going back to the scary part, the fundraising. So Mustard Seed always asks the missionaries to fundraise $950. That goes directly to the kids for their medicine, their food, their caretakers, all that jazz. And then the rest of it is the airfare. So the airfare ranges in price because, airline tickets, always range. But we're expecting it to be about a total of $1,600 that you need to fundraise. And that sounds like a lot, kind of impossible, but it's not. We've done it so many years in the past where our whole family would be going on mission trips for several weeks even. Or even Murphy this year decided to go to Ireland last minute and just fundraising his money like that. Like, people are more than willing to help you, and it starts with this spiritual support. So you have to...
Yeah, I always tell people, we have a 4-hour plan, that if you do the 4 hours, it really works, and it just works every time, and you get it all done. If you don't, that's called the hard way. But if you do the easy way, it's good. And we always just focus on the prayer partners first. If you get the 25 prayer partners, the rest just comes. Because if so I always say, how big is your God? Because if you first have discerned that this is really, God's calling you to this, then God's going to take care of all that. But we have to be willing. We have to be willing to beg for the poor. Just like they, with the kids that had to beg when they were on the streets, living on the streets, they had to beg for every meal. So we have to start emulating them right away and be willing to beg for the poor. Because we're not raising money for us to go to Jamaica, Montego Bay. We're raising money for this organization and for the kids. And we want to start living like them. Like when we're eating the food that we eat or sleeping or drinking the water, we always want to just kind of be one of them. So we don't expect them to treat us with nicer beds or lots of greater food or this or that. So we really want to just start being like the children and living as a family with them. So how about, what would be the next steps if they saw this video and thought, hey, I'm in, or I want to learn more?
Well, the first step is always prayer. So go to adoration for like an hour and just pray and discern and see if you feel like God is calling you on this trip. And we hope that He is. Yeah. Second, we're going to make another video. So go watch that.
Yet to be created. To
save your spot, we're going to ask for a $100 non-refundable deposit, and that will go towards your $1,600 that you're fundraising. This year,
stop me 1 second on that. So on that too, people ask people can give money online. We'll have an option to donate online through a nonprofit, or also they can write you a check or cash. So people ask that a lot. Go ahead. Sorry.
So also this year, we're starting something new. We're going to ask you guys to send us a video or an email on why you want to come or why you feel called to come. Mm-hmm. And you might not know exactly what that is, but whatever it is, we just want to see what you're thinking, where you're at, and we're excited to hear from you.
Yeah, and so what we were thinking is we should have a code word for this video so that we know that you actually watched it, which you're watching it. So
props to you. Good job.
So what's the code word? We'll pick one.
Sunflower.
Sunflower. I love sunflowers. Perfect.
She loves sunflowers.
Okay, so sunflower is the code word. So when we ask you, did you watch the video? And you say,
yes.
Of course I watched the video.
Sunflower.
Wink, wink.
Okay.
Sunflower. So we're really, really excited about this. So we have room for about 25 people. Can't wait to see who God puts in this path because it's just going to be a great trip. And the kids, you're going to fall in love with them. You may be a returner, so you may already be in love with some of these kids. And the rest of the week, the other 2 teams that are going to be in Jamaica are our friends from Pittsburgh. And so the one day when all 3 groups get together, it's going to be a blast because these are people that we've been going on mission trips for years and years with. So it's going to be very fun. It's going to be a really special trip. I hope you're going to be part of it because we want to.
I'm excited.
We want to fall in love with you. Yay! All right, have a great time. Bye bye.
Yay!